I think most people have very little doubt that that
Yes.
industry is going to be very important. There's going to be products and services and platforms that totally change how we do so many things,
Hmm.
finance projects, everything. I mean,
Hmm.
it's going to be able to facilitate so many things. But with this kind of stuff, the cart is always before the horse.
Yeah.
You know, it gets excited and excitement, and you put it up
Exactly.
there, and then you're like, okay, wait, we need to
Exactly.
figure this out. And I don't know if it's going to be 2 years or 5 years or 10 years before that happens. You know, and there's so many
We
ways.
often have this question:
Yeah, sure.
are you too early? Are you too? So way we look at it, we look at the market we serve,
Yeah,
and if we look at the market of distributed renewable energy,
yeah,
I think we are exactly at the right time
right.
because solar last year becomes the cheapest source of energy,
Yeah,
and so now if you want to buy the energy, the cheapest energy, it's solar. It's not perfect. It has limitation.
yeah,
You don't get it at night,
sure.
and
Or where I come from, but
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
no, so it's not perfect. But it becomes the cheapest,
yeah,
cheaper than coal and
yeah,
fuel and Chinese nuclear people for take reference.
yeah,
So we know that the market is going to boom,
yeah,
and that's the market we serve. So we think most likely it's the right time for us to go and sell and take the wind in the back
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and take the ride.
No, I agree, and it's super exciting. And from I'm very concerned about what's happening with the planet and all that kind of stuff in terms of fossil fuels and everything. And very happy that the price of solar has come down and that there's more adoption. And I think you're right, being at a place where you can help facilitate, because of course, when the price comes down and markets open up to sell excess capacity, people are going to want it. People are going to say, well, shit, why aren't I producing my own energy?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably cheaper for me in the long run, and if I
Exactly.
can make extra money on it, great. As you pointed out, it's probably infrastructure development phase and not yet to the peer-to-peer phase where you're just selling your
The
excess
service.
energy on your iPhone or something. But that seems like it's coming.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And I think there will be great new services on the downstream part
yeah,
moving forward.
yeah,
So peer-to-peer could be one. I think the relationship between solar installation and EV vehicles. So maybe today it's more something for like I don't know the US or Europe or Japan, Singapore. We start to move in this direction.
yeah,
But if you have excess of energy during the day and you don't know what to do, you can refill your car for at very low cost. It's almost
yeah,
like a free tank.
yeah,
There is now people are thinking on how they can use this energy and store it to cool the building
right,
even when the sun is gone. So in Asia, AC is
yeah, yeah. Huge energy
when,
consumer.
yeah, and when you develop as an economy, people they want basic things. They want to get aircon at home to get more comfort, and
Yeah,
everybody understands that that's what people want.
yeah.
You need energy, so
What I like about, I get carried away too, like everybody else, when you see how this is changing. And I feel like blockchain and just the development in technology generally, one of the things, it's going to do many things, of course, but I get excited by what I see as it reducing inefficiencies in existing systems. So you could look at so many different areas of life today. You could say, man, that is inefficient. The way that we get it or transport it or store it or sell it or
yes,
whatever. And I like to imagine things flowing way more smoothly in the future,
yeah.
whether it's resources or services or whatever. And it happens so much more seamlessly. There's less waste with it. And, that's just the kind of stuff that gets me excited. But the other thing is, and I'll circle back to something you said before, which was not a lot of, this will be an investment,
Yeah.
recurring income investment for people in probably in the teens in terms of its
Yes.
return, right? And I imagine fairly stable and secure once it's built out. The pricing markets for energy are relatively stable, I presume.
So most of the PPA tend to have fixed term.
Yeah,
So you sell your electricity for the next 15 years at a given price.
yeah,
So that's typical contract is shaped like this.
yeah,
Sometimes there is an index associated, but that's why it's relatively secure.
yeah,
After it's not there is always a very small number of incidents.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a product that is mainly reserved for professional investors.
Yeah.
Because there is a risk that needs to be assessed. So
Sure.
we don't propose that to retailer or individuals. But the infrastructure investment, by definition, are less risky investments
Yeah.
because they are answering basic needs.
Yeah, right, and which don't change
And they are
too
asset
dramatically.
based. So there is.
Yeah. And this is what excited me because I started my career in finance.
Yeah.
And in wealth management and financial sales, and you have your regular fund products, and then you have your kind of more alternative investments, whether it's wine or this kind of stuff, or real estate or whatever. And it's again, I'm excited to, in the mix, in the not too distant future, have projects like this. And once you get greed involved in this green movement, then you really pour gasoline on the fire, and you get. I think it's greed is good, to borrow a term from Wall Street, the movie Wall Street. But once you get these projects that can provide a above average return for a conservative to mid risk investor, and you get people who want to sell it because they get their commission on it and that kind of stuff, it's hard to think that it doesn't proliferate very quickly because of the positive attributes that it bestows on everybody involved, the producer, the investor, the financer, all that kind of stuff.
That's really something we hope we'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Big majority of our customers at the beginning will be institutional investor already active in the energy infrastructure.
Right. So you approach them.
That's okay. These
Pitch the
people,
platform.
they know the product, the asset type, and so that's a very clearly identified group. The other group we would like to work with is family offices, ultra net worth individuals.
Yeah.
Who most likely today not necessarily invest in such kind of asset.
Yeah.
But we would like to help them to make it easier for them, because I believe these people are interested by product with good financial return, but they are also interested to be able to invest in things that contribute to their communities and to where they live and the region where they live and operate. And electricity is one of the basic needs, especially in Asia when you want to develop as an economy. People need electricity to run machine, everything in the economy require energy.
Sure, sure.
So we hope that these people will not only invest in real estate, that has been for years a prime asset in Asia, and because it's important and because it has good return, but they will also take a small part of their asset and start to invest in this type of infrastructure and provide reliable, safe, and clean power to their communities.
Yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't be the case.
Oh,
so will you, or are you actively pitching these groups? Are you at that stage yet? Where you?
We don't like. We are not in the commercial scaling of the application because we don't have the platform.
Right, right.
But that's definitely something we will do.
Yeah.
And the population that we will engage with, and we hope we will be able to convince them.
Yeah.
We have some we have been discussing that are interested.
Sure.
Because they see that in their surroundings there is a need, and
that
could be interesting
it's a pretty easy
for them.
sell, right? If everything works the way it's supposed to, it's like, okay, you want to give me a mid-teens return on an infrastructure project that's sustainable energy, like, well, okay, like
some of these people have also the same problem as the society. They were active in the energy sector, but in the more legacy, traditional one.
Yeah.
And so they see the shift happening, and they say, okay, maybe we need also to be part of the next wave of technology.
Sure. And I just think that attitude is going to snowball, and what is a trickle becoming a stream right now is just going to become a massive flood.
That's what we can
which
hope
is
for,
great. I mean,
for the society.
Yeah.